This is the Taxation Update with RJ Sanderson and Associates, the taxation, business and self-managed super fund specialists.
I'm joined by Roy Sanderson of RJ Sanderson and Associates, taxation specialists. Hello, Roy. Now, you look after a lot of property investors. What's the property market doing now?
Well, according to recently released stats, housing has increased by 6% in Australia, which is not too bad. But if you take it state by state and dig into the detail, Perth jumped just over 22%, while Melbourne dropped by 1.2%.
Ouch. Melbourne down by 1.2%. What do you think the main reason for this is?
The Victorian state government have made many changes that are not really investor-friendly. These include increased compliance costs, increased land tax, the introduction of a new tax if the property is used for short-stay accommodation or as a holiday home.
Okay, if you've got any questions for Roy, send them through to roy@rjsanderson.com.au. Now, Roy, please explain this new vacant residential land tax and who does it affect?
This new land tax is in addition to the existing land tax that we may pay on investments. If the property is rented on short stay accommodation like Airbnb and it's rented for less than 6 months, then the tax applies. Or if you have a holiday home that you are not residing in for more than 30 days throughout the year, then you also pay the tax.
So how much is the tax?
The new tax is calculated on the improved value, not the land value like the existing land tax that we pay. The rate is 1% in year 1, 2% year 2 and 3% in year 3.
Okay, my maths isn't that good. So let's do an example. Mornington Peninsula, you've got a holiday home that you rent less than 6 months in the year. It's valued, let's say, at 1.2 million. Then you'll pay what? 12,000 year 1, 24,000 year 2 and 36,000 year 3?
As crazy as it seems, those calculations are correct.
So how do you avoid it?
Or the owners or their family need to live in the property for at least 30 days throughout the year.
So are property investors leaving the market in Victoria?
Unfortunately, they are. Recently, the Reserve Bank released some figures that show property investors make up 31% of the finance applications. 10 years ago, it was 45%, and I think it will continue to drop.
So are you saying property investment is not a good thing to save tax?
Not really. The other factors are that immigration is still high, we're not building enough property to cope with the demand, and the vacancy rate in Melbourne is around 1.5%, which historically is very low. I think early to mid 2025, there will be some opportunities to purchase property in holiday destinations at very good prices.
So what should we do in preparation if we're thinking of investment property in the future?
Check your borrowing capacity with a finance broker so you know what you can afford. And secondly, get an accountant to check your super balances to see if it is a good option to buy an investment using your super fund rather than using your own money.
Okay, we've got a question from a listener. He's an electrician, lives in Melbourne, travelled to Adelaide to pick up a new work ute. Can he claim the taxi to the airport and the airfare to pick up the car? Total costs here, Roy, were around $1,500.
The $1,500 adds to the cost of the car and you depreciate over the time with the car. So yes, it is a tax deduction, but not in the year you spend the money.
Roy, before you leave us, a quick tax tip, please.
Certainly, if you have a person in your family who earns under $45,400 per year, and that might be one of the children or your partner, you can put $1,000 into super and the government will make a co-contribution of $500. This is a 50% return, which is not too bad.
Thanks so much, Roy. Great advice as always. You have people in your organisation that are not only business and taxation specialists, but those that can help with finance, wealth management and retirement. Now, to contact Roy, that's easy. Email roy@rjsanderson.com.au.